And one of the reasons why we had oil prices run up significantly at the end of last year was concerns that there would be greater demand for oil as part of substitution for gas, as gas was seen as in short supply. And if you get any type of crisis that leads to serious economic sanctions on Russia, for example, kicking them out of SWIFT, I do think there'll be concerns that Russia will play the energy card. And will Russia potentially disrupt gas supplies into Europe? What will that mean for oil demand? But obviously, what does that mean for gas demand in Europe? Will Europe have a really awful winter? So I think that this is perhaps the most important geopolitical story to be watching, is what happens with Russia and Ukraine.
In terms of what happens next in the region, obviously the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, everybody does better when oil prices are high. What's your expectation for the next 6 months in terms of the price range?
Yeah, I mean, we think Brent prices will remain, around this level. I mean, we see Brent prices, for 2022, in that sort of low $80 range. And so I think what's going to be the challenge for the White House is that this is not a particularly good range in terms of what they're thinking about in terms of inflation, in terms of how they're thinking about their strategy for the midterms. And so the question, I think, for this administration is, how much more pressure do you want to put on OPEC and on Saudi Arabia to get prices to fall back a bit? And the question is, if you're Saudi Arabia, you've rebuilt your reserves in this price environment. How much do you want to give into pressure from the White House? So I think this is going to be an interesting negotiation that we're going to see between Riyadh and Washington over the course of this year.